Yo, what's up everyone? I'm Thomas. Everyone calls me Swervi. So, this is my first video, and I'm tackling a huge, elephant in the room, skill-based matchmaking. And you might be thinking, who hasn't? But I've been playing Call of Duty for a long time, and this is just unbearable. Now, I know everyone and their mother has talked about, the chain feeds, the Korean savages, the face swags with their thumbnails to get the 5-year-olds to click on them, but that's exactly part of the problem. Because when you start to build an audience off of the kids who played Warzone for free and stole their mom's credit card to buy the skins that are literally a third of the price of the game, you have, now kids who don't know any better thinking they can get as good as these FaZe swags and all the others when not only are those guys not that good because of skill-based matchmaking, and they literally sit there and see for themselves over and over and over again and record the one video as a result of them killing themselves. They're literally enabling the cycle of a problem by fooling idiots. In other words, if these content creators have to literally suck dick to get as good as they actually are, and trying to convince little kids who will always be protected and never get in the lobby, anything like that, there's literally nothing going on here except they're making money off morons. It's simple. Sorry if I triggered you. And some of you might be saying, this is this guy's first video. I don't have to listen to him, why should I care? Well, I've been playing Black Ops since Black Ops 1, or Call of Duty rather, and I used to be big Halo guy, Halo Reach, all this stuff, and I sucked. My friends wouldn't want to play with me. I could barely go even on TDM. I remember on Havana specifically, I was split screening with my brother, and my friends were like, this is the only mode we're willing to play with you, because any other mode, you just can't do it. So I went from being the noob that was protected to, by the end of the year, getting attack dogs, a good amount. And why? Because the lobbies were random, the skills of the people in the lobby were random. I'd play search and destroy, all these things that actually made me get better. And I wasn't coddled being stuck in lobbies with people sucked just as bad as me. Because if I never learned to play better and I just played like I had my thumb up my ass or never held a controller before, and everyone else is doing that, where's the, I'm going to think I'm doing it right. Even if I was put in a lobby with, me now, I would get absolutely decimated. So then, fast forward to Black Ops 4, I'm pretty good at that game. But it was also the earliest I can remember myself, or at least, from recent memory, because it wasn't that long ago, going, why is it always my team that's not playing the objective? Why do I have 25 objectives, 12 caps, 13 objective kills, and the second person on my team has good amount of kills, but they have one objective, and it's not a capture, it's an objective kill. So when I started taking notice of that. So then came Modern Warfare, changed the face of the entire Call of Duty game, the entire community, everything. Warzone, all this. Even the developers have interviews where they're like, we want to give new players a chance to learn how to hold the controller. A safe space, if you will, when they spawn in. Okay, so not only do you have that, you have multiple story buildings with sightlines and windows and slamming doors that can look from everywhere. What's that? Crash, where they added the top floor, the hotel, the roof, where you're behind the graded fence and all of this, stuff like that. Are you kidding me? It's like some kid could mosey on up there with a sniper and hard scope the whole time and think he's great. So when you pair that with skill-based matchmaking, you're gonna get kids under the facade that they're actually good, leading them to talk a lot of shit in the game lobbies and all of those things, making them think they're good, aka not seeing a problem, thus spreading the cancer that this is, because Activision's literally manipulating the people who suck at this game and giving them an ego out of it, so they feel like they have something to defend, even if at the end of the day, sorry, you suck, and they're just making you feel like you're good, so you shove money in their wallet, sorry. So now, here we are in Cold War. I loved Black Ops 1, like I was saying, I started with that one, loved the campaign, and everything. So to come back to this campaign, this game has its own problems, like replacing voice actors for no reason, being rushed, all this stuff. The campaign itself, though, as a whole, those, big time fan, nitty gritty details aside, very good campaign. But aside from that, as a big Black Ops fan, the point I'm getting at is the skill-based matchmaking has only gotten worse, way worse, and it's because of the success of Modern Warfare and the manipulation points I just made about tricking kids that suck into thinking they're good and spending their money. Now, how am I so sure of this? Some of you may be going, you're mad, and you're bad. But hear me out. In Modern Warfare, when I really started to have this problem, especially with, the way the maps were built and made for people to camp and all that, you could still sometimes control the game. Like, on shipment, like, if you were really playing objective, most of the lobbies, like I'm describing, a lot of kids wouldn't even touch it. Even on a map that small, they'd go out of their way to make sure they step right over the flag instead of on it. So, when we get into games like this, and, my score per minute's really good, let's say I go positive one game. I went on a 17-41 last night, and I still get good lobbies. And that doesn't make sense to me, but it does, and here's why. A lot of these new players are so protected, right, that even if I perform 17-41 in a super sweaty lobby, those 17 kills and whatever objectives I've done throughout that game still add up and into a sum that is more of a score per minute than those kids who suck. So even though that game sucked for me, I'm still way better than those kids they're protecting. So it's like I'm in an infinite loop of sweat. Even if, I do really good one game and they punish me with a 17-41, that punished performance is still better than Timmy, who doesn't even know how to play. So, like, no matter what, with how strict this is, I can do so ass. I can get destroyed like that and still, in their mind, in their algorithm, have the upper hand on almost all the players. So there's almost no way out unless you pull a Korean Savage and spend all day C4ing yourself and then recording the one game you go like 110 and pretending you're the GOAT. Like, if those guys have to do that, literally kill themselves all day, on top of what I explained, if you don't think there's a problem, you're just lying to yourself. So after all the points I've made, all the details I've given, my experience, my background with it, whatever, if that's not enough to show that I came up during the time where you actually had to do things different, so I'm not just pulling this out of my ass because I suck, but I have an in-detail description of an event where all of these problems I've described came into fruition in one match. So I play COD with a lot of college buddies of mine, and one of them FaceTimed me and was like, yo, one of my brothers, because he's in a frat, wants to 3v3. And this one particular guy was MLG at Infinite Warfare. But I've played with a lot of those guys, so I assumed it would be me, him, that one MLG guy who did it years ago, and, a couple of other buddies from school, but I was very wrong. So I get on the game, and I'm in a lobby. It turns out, so that MLG guy, we know, brought, two of his other MLG buddies onto his team. So it was like me, above average player, with my friend who kind of sucks, and another guy who's pretty good, versus people who do this and make money. And not only did their attitude and performance prove my point, but don't worry, I'll get there. So of course, they're in charge of the lobby, and they pick Crossroads Strike with CDL hardpoint. Now, I consider myself to be fairly sweaty, but I'm not purposely playing CDL rules ever. Like, I've never done that because I'm not trying to limit the choices I can have and whatnot. So, getting into the swing of that, people who've never done that, including myself, versus people who kind of do that for a living, for more or less, of course we got wiped right away. So the next game, we decided to say, hey, let's play Nuketown. I've known this map for years. It might give me an upper hand against the Sweats because I know my way around the map. So my team starts to win that Nuketown fight. Like, we hear, CIA, we've taken the lead. And then these kids, they pull out the AUG, thermal sights, and smokes because they were scared. And obviously, all they have to be good at is Call of Duty. And they were really scared we were going to take that away. So when that game ended, they're like, oh, you suck. And I'm like, dude, you literally got scared and were using thermals and smokes. Like, what are you trying to prove? I didn't even know you were MLG till I got here. And you're not only trying as hard as you can, but you actually got scared and used the broken stuff and smokes and thermals? Like, are you kidding me? And this kid, and these kids have the gall, the sack to go, yeah, it was definitely the smokes and thermals, but next game, you can't use LMGs, and we're banning Nuketown, blah, 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 banning all this stuff that our team used. Meanwhile, they didn't even mention or react to the fact that they were using the most broken gun with a smoke and thermal to save their own ass. So when I called them out for that, they said the most peculiar thing. We're black, right? And that's pathetic. That's called the ultimate act of desperation. If you're going to pull the race card over a video game when I can't even see you, you're scared and hurt. You're about to lose the only ego you have. So I just said, I don't give a fuck what color you are. You still sound and play like a stupid bitch. I almost took away the only thing you have to your pathetic life, and I pieced the fuck out. So if all of those things and these experiences and this defeat on screen, thanks to the gameplay, random copyright free guy, I'm working on that, doesn't show the problem here, then COD is in big trouble, and we're all just screwed. But thanks for listening to my first video. I'm Thomas, Swervi. Take it easy. Peace out.